Welcome to Prime Testimony Channel. I'm your usual host, Ato Brent Ishan. When you look behind me and you see the host of angels, not angels, a host of beautiful men and women who have assembled, it means that the issue at stake is going to be very wonderful. Today we are going to look at who can be described as a romantic and responsible African man. And we also look at who can be described as a sweet African woman. But before we start, I will let my beautiful panel members give us self-introduction, beginning from this end.
Hello, I'm Andra Ifya Samuel, a social worker.
Hi, I'm Kujenji, a project director.
Hello, I'm Andra Mensa Hamu, a social worker.
Hey, this is Kofi Isai Emmanuel, the child and youth development worker.
Hi there, my name is Young Diana. You can call me Dee, and I'm a women activist.
Hi, there is Emmanuel Kojo Mensana for an account officer.
All right. Friends, you are welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We are going to look at the men. So in our first round, I will want our ladies to give us, their submissions. Then after that, the men will also add up to that one, because we are going to talk about men first. And that is why I want the ladies to, give us their submission. Then after that, we, come to that of the women. When we say somebody is a romantic and responsible African man, who can be described as such?
Well, Uncle Ato, this topic is very interesting. When you say someone is a romantic African man, all we are trying to say is that the person is willing and regularly available, and also, let's say the person is willing to show their affection or love for someone that they are close to. It can be a relative, their spouse, or children.
All right. Thank you very much, Dee.
Well, my understanding or my personal description of a romantic African man is a guy who is respectful, a guy who respects a lady, okay? A guy who knows to protect his woman, especially in public. Although you might go wrong, he would protect you in public. So that respect there, I see it to be romantic. And a guy who is caring, is concerned about a lady, his woman. I also see that guy to be romantic. I think there's two definitions.
All right. Thank you very much. Our sister, Andrea?
Okay, I'm glad to. I will add up to what my two sisters have already said. I think my definition for a responsible man is, I would say, a family man.
Yeah, that responsible and romantic.
Romantic, I would say someone who has eyes for the family and accepts duties as a man. Someone who is always home, who is caring, acts of the needs of the kids, the family, their mothers, the mother as a whole. Someone who has that affection for the family and always thinks about the well-being of the family. I'll describe that one as a responsible romantic man.
All right. Thank you very much. Still with the ladies.
Can I
Let's
ask,
hear from the...
Okay, so when we say a responsible man, I see a man who takes up the duties as the head of the family. If you perform your duties, your role as the head of the family, I define that as a responsible man. Not someone who just provides for the financial needs of the family, but in both financial, both social, both emotional needs of the family. Just know the schools your kids attend to. Once a while, you tend to know what they actually doing, their interests. You have a personal relationship with your family. I term that as a responsible man.
All right.
Okay. I also want to add up to what my two sisters have said. Okay, when we talk about a man who is responsible, it means a man who is ready to take accountability for his actions. Accountability in the sense that you are married to a woman, have children, be accountable for those people. Make sure you provide for their needs. Don't neglect them, and also don't shirk your responsibilities, and then let the woman alone shoulder them. Be a joint.
All
Okay,
right.
so I'd like to add one
Thank
to
you.
what Lady D said, like the physical, the social part, or add the spiritual too as part of the mandate of a man who is a responsible man. Being the head, not necessarily providing, but also shielding the family, praying for the family, and then directing them the God's way, teaching them the word of God and all. That one also shows that you're a responsible man.
All right, thank you very much. You are watching Prime Testimony Channel. We are discussing who a romantic and responsible African man is. I want to zoom into the romantic aspect. Every time I will lead to this man is romantic, he's not romantic. We want to understand you as African men.
What constitutes the romance?
We want to understand you being as African men in Africa or African men in diaspora.
Okay.
To you,
All right.
what constitutes romance?
Okay. So we've said a couple of them. To add up to it, a man who likes to help out in the kitchen. For instance, not necessarily helping to chop anything, but just being in the kitchen, feeling your presence, having a chat with your woman while she's cooking. That is romantic. Yeah. Sometimes, once a while, you can help to set the table after she's done cooking. Honey, can I help you out with the table? Today I would want to set the table. That is what we call romantic.
At the kitchen.
Yes.
All right. So, can he kiss you as a wife at the kitchen? Is it possible?
Of course, that is even more romantic.
All right, all right. But the other one I won't ask. I know the gentleman want to, but I'm not going there. I know your mind. Okay, thank you. Yes, romance, romantic.
Romantic
African man.
African man. Okay. In my own way, a guy would be romantic when the guy listens to me. A guy who is a good listener, not pushing whatever I say off, not throwing my words at me, responding so harshly when I talk to him. A guy who is very responsive to what I say and is willing to listen to me. Everything I say, like even if it's trash, appreciate it, tell me nice things. Okay, my dear, okay, this is right, but let's do it this way. A guy who is ready to support me as romantic, like a guy who is ready to support my vision, ready to push me to wherever I want to be, and also ultimate is be a good listener and a communicator. Communicate well with me whilst I also communicate with you. Listen, advise me on how to go about, but don't be bossy because you are the man of the house. When you say this is final, you're not going to listen to what I say. No, you are not a good, or you can't be described as a romantic man if you do that. No, a romantic man is very attentive. He listens to the partner, and then he takes advices as well.
All right, our sister, do you want to add?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear you.
I will add small to what my sisters have said. A romantic man, some characteristics I find romantic is a man who surprises. A man who is full of surprises.
That's necessary.
Yes. He's not fixed, like he has a routine that he follows. At least he should be flexible and then be full of surprises. Also, a man who maybe from time to time, even during the day, he sends you messages just to show that he's thinking about you.
Oh.
And then, it could be in the form of sticker. Maybe he leaves a sticker note, a note on a sticker before he leaves for work, or maybe this message.
Oh, nice one.
This is more of compassion
And
romance.
so, I'll add up to what my sister said. Compliments. When I go to the salon and I come back, oh my dear, you're looking good. When I dress, oh sweetheart, today you look so spectacular. I like the smell on your body. Like some romantic words.
Wow,
Like
Andrea.
those compliments makes us feel like a source of belonging, a source of being loved and all. It's one of the way a guy can be romantic to a lady or a woman.
Oh, you are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. I believe what we are doing, it's a medicine for a lot of men out there. Maybe hitherto, there are some of the things you've been taking for granted. Listen to our ladies and listen to our gentlemen who are also coming to, add their contributions. I believe when we know this, as men, especially young men that are about to enter into relationships, or young men that are about to marry, or those even who have married, I'm sure it will do some good, because these are beautiful African women that is sharing with you what they consider as romantic, and I believe you'll find yours there. D.
Yeah. So before the guys come in, one other thing that I'll term as romantic is a guy who knows how to communicate properly. He knows, so he engages you when you're at home, when you're in public. He knows how to engage with you. He knows the choice of words to use at each point in time, and like wherever you find yourself. For instance, my sister said something about compliments. Maybe you could go wrong. Like I always keep saying, no one is perfect. One day the food could go bad, and then that is when he's invited his friends or his family around. A man who can be able to really stand out for you. If someone should just try to embarrass your wife just because the food went bad, a good man who can stand up and defend his wife, that's, come on, sweetheart, the food is beautiful, it's lovely, just the something, like you defend your wife in front of whoever is present. And when they are gone, later on, not even that day, on a different day, you could just let her know that, oh, maybe this time around, just reduce the salt a bit, or the pepper should just be a little more or later. So just communication is also romantic.
All right. I can see the men nodding their heads. Ladies, do you have any other point?
Yeah, I think
They have more filler.
I think
Point.
it's also boils up to protecting your woman.
Great.
Protecting your woman.
Did you hear say protecting your woman?
Yes, you have to protect your woman.
Yes,
like
yes,
she
I'm
said,
taking
when
notes.
your friends came and she had cooked and the food, one way or the other, it was salty. Oh, I like my food to be salty, so I asked my wife to add more salt to it. You are protecting her. You don't disgrace her because your friends are there. You can talk it out with her when they have left. When maybe she's out and you feel like your wife is almost at the verge of falling in a gutter, you rush and then hold her. Something. You are protecting your wife. You have to be very protective so that your wife doesn't go into any danger or something. Make sure everything is intact in the house. There is no damages that can cause anyone in the house. You have to be a very protective husband.
Okay, thank you very much. You want to add something?
Yes, above all, a romantic man is someone who fears the Lord. Because if someone fears the Lord, all that we've spoken about, the person is based there.
Great.
So finally,
All right.
a man who fears the Lord.
All right. Thank you. Before the men come in, I think we started from the kitchen. Maybe we went to the living room because when you hear some of these things, usually it's the living room that we said I want us to go to the bedroom.
Okay.
In the bedroom, what sort of things do you think your man should do that you consider him romantic?
Oh,
Yeah, the floor is open.
Okay.
We are listening.
I think I once read an article on and the lady was talking about a guy who bought a new bed or a new mattress. And so when the lady came back from the office, she had chewed some fish and her mouth was smelling. So the moment she came, the husband gave her a very big hug. We're like, sweetheart, please today don't worry yourself to cook. We have to go out and then have some dinner and then come back. So the lady rushed, changed, went for the dinner, came back. And the moment they came back, they said, sweetheart, please brush your teeth for me. Today we have to usher the bed. We have to dedicate the bed into the hands of the Lord. So you see, Akla, to this communication, it started so well.
All right.
Whether you are tired or not, the fact that your husband will come today, don't cook, let's go for some dinner. The man came back, oh sweetheart, let me help you with your clothes. You remove the lady's clothes. We are going to usher the bed. Already the bed had been decorated nicely for the ceremony. And so Akla, to you yourself, the moment your husband gives you that treat when you come back from work, you are going to feel good. Whether you are tired, you are stressed. In fact, no one will tell you to.
You will give him
open up.
Christian Ronaldo.
You are going to naturally open up for your mind.
Yeah,
So sometimes the
Reception.
you receive when you come back from work alone. That alone gives you the appetite.
I can see the men
It works.
just ready to speak.
Yeah, it works your appetite for
Okay.
every activity that is going to go on in the evening.
That's
That would
beautiful.
be beautiful.
I want to understand you. Did you say she had chewed fish?
The husband did not condemn her at all, but he made it known that
All right.
today they are going to usher the bed. So right after dinner, she should go to the washroom, have some nice
Right.
mint in her mouth so that she could have a good
Beautiful.
interaction.
Beautiful.
with him.
My fellow African men, have you heard? He did not condemn the lady
No.
that your mouth is smelling, but look at, how he communicated.
Yeah.
I
told you.
One can say the no more. Sometimes, there was an issue and you maybe kakra. That was beautiful, I believe. Any addition? We are in the bedroom.
You don't have bedroom, don't talk.
Okay, I would answer it.
Okay.
Come back. So, when we're talking about romance and the bedroom, a romantic African man in the bedroom, as a man that once a while, probably once in a month or quarter, you could, that he closes early from work. He says, honey, tonight I'm taking care of the bedroom. He sweeps the bedroom. He lays the bed. Some roses on it, some candles.
Kakra ebedienti. This is not bad.
Yes, he's coming, yeah.
Some candles, and that day, even you band together. So you start from some, like, already you are gingered up for the game. And I thank you. So that is real romance. It's a romantic African man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes you can, the man
This man is loaded.
just goes to town and then buys you some 960, 90.
Yeah.
Can't go like, sweetheart, this evening I want you to put on this 90. The moment your husband does that, he's communicating something
Yes.
to you.
Fill love
And
with
then,
room.
and I do don't do that. Like, sweetheart, that's your 90 that I bought for you. Can you please put it on for
Yeah.
me? Oh yes, why not, sweetheart? The moment the lady puts that 90 on, it communicates to the lady that this thing, when I put it on my husband, this is what my husband wants. So other time you buy them nice things, like attractive things that leads to or brings their mind towards the action. Yes, so that is also one of the ways of showing romance or communicating to your spouse in the bedroom.
All right. Sweetie?
I'm glad to. I'll add a little to my sister's
Okay.
contribution. Well, I believe for an African man to be romantic in the bedroom, it should start with communication. And then I once read a book, and the author was trying to advise married men on how to spice up their romance in the bedroom. And it was like, the communication should start in the morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, it should start in the morning. So in the morning, at least, make your wife aware. This is your intention. This is what you want to do. And then
What this are you talking about?
Book in advance.
Yeah. No, make the scripture plain.
Okay.
Advance booking.
Yeah. Let's wait for them. Yeah. This thing, what is the distance?
Sex. Okay. This evening,
Yeah.
I want to have sex with you.
Yes! Please go ahead.
So even when the wife or the husband leaves for work, there is still communication. And then the author made a statement. He said he sends his wife a message, honey, prepare for tonight and make sure when you are coming, you call the firemen, the fire servicemen, because there's going to be fireworks in the bedroom.
All those warnings.
Yes. So the woman preps her mind.
Yeah.
That this is what I'm going to do at home.
This is
So all
tantamount
through
to
the
murder.
day, she'll be fantasizing and then
Yeah.
thinking of styles and then moves and then
She's telling
getting herself in the mood. So in the evening when they meet,
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Nicholas,
Okay, you want to add?
first-
Okay.
So in reference to our previous episode, there was one particular one that we talked about the preps that the guys so disagree. You need to prep the lady's mind right from morning. It doesn't take anything much.
All right.
It could be that you don't have money, that is fine. You wake up, you prepare breakfast for her, or you even order breakfast for her. Okay, just a tiny note, you put it in her purse. She gets to work, she opens it like, this guy has been naughty. You send her some emoji. So already she knows that tonight there's a match. So she starts preparing herself. That is a romantic man. Not to be a uncashe and you may do fear.
Okay, what die for the bed so you.
Don't you know that we have to do something?
Men, I hope you are enjoying this conversation as we are also enjoying here. Please feel free to make comments. Feel free to bring your suggestions at the comment section. And I will encourage you to recommend this channel to other people because there are a lot of good stuff in here that you'll be able to learn. And this is Prime Testimony Channel, and I'm your host, Ato Brent Ishan. At this point, I will want the men also to add up to. Remember, we are talking about the romantic African man. We have not started.
All right.
So we have not started of the woman. So we are adding up to whatever they said. So the floor is open. Obed.
Okay, thank you, Uncle. I believe my ladies have said a lot, and the word romance itself means using all sort of strategies to be able to woo a woman to your side. And before you can be able to adapt to those strategies to woo the person to your side, then eventually you have to understand the psyche of the person before you can be able to do that. Now, to become an ideal, responsible, romantic African man, then it means that it should be somebody who understands your family. If you don't understand your family, then you cannot be a romantic man to the family. And you know that women, of course, are emotional by nature. So when you know all those kind of things, then there are things that you can be able to do to save the women from depression. Because women mostly love things that you do for them. The little things that you do for them, they appreciate those ones very much. So once you begin to do those things for them, then it brings their minds back to you, and rather deter them from going outside, or probably if somebody is poaching them elsewhere, we deter them from giving it to that person. So an ideal African man who is romantic is somebody who is able to use strategy to be able to woo the woman to her side each and every time.
Thanks for your addition. Yes.
Thank you so much. And I thank my exquisite ladies here for such a wonderful revelation. In fact, this is a major problem with the African men. In fact, one thing that you have to know is that you have to appreciate the fact that a woman, one, has accepted your proposal. And for that matter, the woman has agreed to be with you. But there was a lot of men who were knocking at her door, then she gave you that opportunity. Now, when you talk about romance, or when you say someone is romantic, then we are trying to tell the person a feeling of excitement, which is characterized by what? Love. So anything that you do that will let the lady, not forgetting the fact that ladies are purely emotional. So whatever that you do, that will bring a feeling of excitement, some excitement in the heart of that woman is what you call a romance, or a person being what? A romantic.
Yeah.
When you exhibit the kind of character that you exhibit towards a woman, that brings that person a feeling or an excitement, then the person can tell you that person as what? A romantic person. So women are people that all their life, all what they want is happiness. In fact, a woman doesn't want to hear anything like sadness. A woman doesn't want to see anything like, or doesn't want to feel like she's sad, or want to hear anything relating to sadness. But all that she wants is happiness. So when she finds herself in a place where she gets happiness, that is where her heart goes to. So when a woman tempts you, there is only one circumstance that a woman will tell you as a man to be romantic, and that is when you are able to exhibit that kind of, when you're able to exhibit a behavior that will bring some excitement. Then the woman can tell you, as you man, a romantic. And trust you me, when that is why there is a saying that a map for. It is not true. Say ladies like foolish men, but always they want a kind of guy that will put a smile on her face. And with that, when you don't do that as a man, then you are failing to fulfill the promise of God, because God created women to have happiness. Because that is it. Because if has it not been that, they wouldn't see. When they find out that, when the woman find that this place, when I go there, there's happiness, irrespective of that. Is why some of the people that they are financial moguls, but their wives are cheating on them. It's when you talk about romance, it goes beyond having a financial resources. Romance is an art. Romance is an art. It's full of creativity. You have to create something. You have to bring out something that will make the woman happy.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I could see the ladies were smiling throughout. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
This art.
Angrato, when it comes to romance, women are very conscious about it. The African man, on average, is not too much interested in romance. But when it comes to the women, they are very conscious about it. And listening to my sisters here, it confirms the notion that the manual to understanding women is very, very big and has a lot of pages. Don't laugh. Yeah.
Feel free to laugh.
Yeah. Because when in Africa here, the conditions, the cultural and other things fused together makes it very difficult for men to stay romance. Yes. Because an average man will wake up in the morning, go to work, go to hustle, going to find something to bring to the house. And the troubles that he will go through will not give him that free mind to exhibit something we call romance. But that is not to say that men should not be romantic.
Yeah.
Women expect a lot, but they want the little things. And so to me as a man, what I see to be romantic about men is that as a man, one, you should understand your woman.
Thank you very much for all the additions. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. Definitely, there will be part 2. And in the part 2 of this video, we will hear the men also telling us, looking at the women, telling us about the kind of African women they cherish. Oh, yes, see, we here, African ba. Emudia hin na yeka. Oba papa. I want to thank you. And my friends out there, we should note that we may not know everything. And as our sisters are sharing with you, I believe you might have picked 1 or 2 things. Why don't you try some of these so that you'll be able to rekindle love in your homes? Because when you are enjoying peace, when you are swimming through romantic waters, it makes life so beautiful. Some women are grieving within their spirit. Yes, the men may be responsible. They pray, they kabo, they know their body, but the truth is that some of them are not romantic at all. Yeah. It's a problem with a lot of African men, especially African men living in Africa. Some of them are also romantic. But I believe we will learn from this. Thank you very much. I'm your friend, Axel Brentishan, and this is Prime Testimony.